Hi guys, welcome to this guide video of my GM mode WWE 2K23. As you can see, I have completed a couple of Hall of Fames for NXT 2.0 as well as Raw on normal difficulty, being on top of the charts for all seasons. And there are a few tactics that I have used, some tips and tricks that I have used, which I'll share with you today. And one of the important ones is to choose the right manager. Now, I have gone through a lot of managers. I tried to play with Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Tyler Breeze, and even Stephanie McMahon. But for me, my favorite was Xavier Woods. One of the reasons is that he gives you a cheat code, power card, through which you can actually pick someone from the other rosters to be in your team, to play for your brand. But there's a catch that they can't be champs for those shows. But it does not matter, it's still a good option. So I always go with Xavier Woods. And my second option is Tyler Breeze because he gives a power card which can get your superstar stamina up by 20 points, which is a huge thing because stamina is greatly important in this mode. If your wrestlers are tired, injuries are bound to happen, but you can always play them, and probably in the middle of the season around 10th or 15th show, between there you can use that card and get your superstar stamina up. Now I always use I do not use default, I use a custom draft for my GM mode. The only reason is that I'm a huge Attitude Era fan and I want them to be a part of the draft and not just have them as legends. Now let's move on to the draft. So here goes a draft. I think Stone Cold is the better option. 87 stamina, popularity is 69, so that's pretty great. Those are the things that I look at. Firstly, popularity, then there is star power, but above that is the stamina. Because if your player superstar does not have enough stamina, then injuries are going to happen right in the beginning of the season. I'm going to go with the Roddy Piper. Another thing that I do is that now since I have two fighters in my roster, that is Stone Cold and now Roddy Piper, both being faces, I try and pick the bruisers who are healed so that synergy matches. I also tend to pick some of my favorite wrestlers, like Bret the Hitman Hart is one of my favorite wrestlers. But honestly, if you really want to get successful in this my GM mode, you have to make sure that you have a perfect balance between the star power of a wrestler and looking at the stamina that they have. So make sure that you pick at least few of the wrestlers which have great stamina, because only then you are going to be able to put up matches every week. And also, over here, as you can see, that Hurricane is a great option for me after choosing Yokozuna because he's got great stamina and better popularity. But I'm going with Shane McMahon because he's cheap. So sometimes some decisions you might have to take based on the amount of money you have left, the amount of budget is remaining for you. In the budget that you have, you are going to end up with less popular wrestlers on your roster, and to get the most out of them, you can pit them against popular wrestlers, as well as finding their match speciality could help get you better ratings when you put them in a match. Alright, so let's move on to the end of the draft. So this is Raw. This is the draft for Sonya in Raw. This is for SmackDown. Mick Foley, Booker T, X-Pac, Kane. That's a good lineup. Ronda Rousey and Doink, one of my favorite characters in the 90s. And also now, I've finished with mine as well. Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Triple H, Roddy Piper, Khali. That's a good lineup. NXT has got The Rock, Kevin Nash, Kevin Owens, Razor Ramon, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, that's a good lineup as well. So let's have a look at the rosters here. And I think everyone, like all the brands, have got some great roster. I think for us, probably Brock Lesnar needs to be a heel at the moment. Let's go ahead and look at how we're going to set up our first show and which matches are going to happen, which wrestlers are going to fight each other. First, we'll have to look at the messages that Triple H sent us. Here it is. Thank you, Triple H. Sonia wants to tell me that she's going to be on the top. Let's see. Let the show begin. Alright, so one of the things I do is that Triple H is going to be my champion because he's got less popularity. He's going to get 10. After that, he's gone to 60. And then he's going to fight with Stone Cold Steve Austin for the belt. So that would mean that the most popular, who is Stone Cold, is going to fight for the belt. And that's going to give me great views. So that is one try that I'm going to do right now. So let's see. Before we head to that, this is the GM assistant mode. As you can see, everybody must be, I think you should be using this, looking at the journal, looking at which tag teams really fit with each other, which matches are great for which superstars. It's a really helpful journal, really helpful. So be sure you keep an eye out for that. Alright, so let's start and book matches here. So for me, it's going to be Stone Cold and Triple H, as I said, for the title match. And I'll go for tables. Now, popularity for both these superstars is the same. So that is going to give me a great match. No doubt about it. Now, for me to put some tag teams, there is one problem. And the problem is I don't have enough heels. Because that is going to create, if I take a couple of them who are available for me, that's going to create some problems. So I'll have to stick to not having a tag team match in the first show, but I'll have some other ones. The Hart brothers can fight for the men's title for the main event, and for women's I think it's going to be Chyna and Mandy Rose. They're going to fight for the women's title, and it is going to be probably a TLC, yes, a TLC match. And here I'm going to go for a triple threat. I think triple threat is a better option with Sting coming in. Also, I think Brock Lesnar needs to change his role. So Brock Lesnar is out, Rowdy Piper is in, Sting has to be in along with Great Khali. So there are no titles left, but this is not a titles match. In terms of the promos, Yokozuna has to call out Shane McMahon because that is a rivalry I want to take to the PLE. And Brock Lesnar can change his role, and probably Nikita Lyons can do a charity, maybe self-promo. So that is the lineup for this first show. Now let's see whether this show gives us new fans, good viewers, good ratings. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, Stone Cold and Triple H. Triple H wins the title. Amazing. That's a good rating. 4 stars for the first opening game of WCW. The call out was decent from Yokozuna. So another title match, TLC, Mandy Rose wins it. Great. That's again a good rating, and the rivalry has reached one level for them. Brock Lesnar is now a bad guy. So that's great. Rowdy Piper wins that match. Another great rating. So that is good. First 3 matches, really good ratings. I'm concerned about the last one. I hope these brothers put up a good fight. Bret Hart wins it, but the match got good rating. One of the reasons for that is Owen Hart has the popularity of 49. So to put him in the main event is a problem. So make sure that you calculate and you make sure that you put the right players in the right matches so that there are no problems. There are no drama curves that are going all haywire. As you can see right now, the drama curve is all over the place for WCW. SmackDown did pretty well, I guess. And one of the most important notes is the show notes. You can see Triple H is perfect for table matches. These are the notes where you can see the fans as well making some comments on what they like, what they don't like, what kind of rivalries they're enjoying, if they're enjoying a superstar being the good guy or the bad guy. These things are really important for you to keep making sure that there is consistency in great matches you put up. Alright, guys, I hope that these tips and tricks help you put good shows consistently and you climb at the top of the charts for every season. Just to reiterate a few points before we sign up, while picking a draft, make sure that you pay attention to a wrestler's stamina, popularity, as well as star power. Make a good combination of that, make sure the synergies are matched. And if you pick wrestlers with less popularity, you can pit them against popular wrestlers as well as try and find their match specialty, which will help you give great matches with good ratings. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was of help. See you next time. Bye bye.